So there's a lot of new updates and changes to 2K25. One of the things that I want to talk about is showcase mode. Entrances have made the comeback in 2K25 for showcase. So before, they were just gone. You would just go and do the match, ding, 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 and you just get right into it. And it's not authentic. It just removes yourself from the whole thing. You're just kind of playing through these matches to get them done and get the unlockables. That has now changed. So shout out to This Gen Gaming. And in his latest videos, he was confirming that you do get the full entrance of the superstars like Roman Reigns, and there is the commentary specific to that match within the storyline. So the commentating team is talking about the match between Seth and Roman Reigns. That adds so much more to the presentation for me, and it just brings me back in, and I like it a lot. This obviously goes hand in hand with the whole fact that we are not going to get slingshot tech anymore. With all of the footage that we have seen online, you can see that it's gone, and they have substituted it out with just the key moments, and they're using the gameplay itself. Love it. Keeps me into the game. Don't want to skip it. I really think that this is a good thing that they have done. Those little details, be able to expand it with commentary, to have the entrances in there, makes the showcase matches feel bigger, more important. And not to mention, there is the variety of alternate endings and alternate scenes, cut scenes to the matches. This, again, I think adds more dynamic and replayability, which is a big thing for me with showcase. Maybe it is for you, because for me, I play showcase, I play it once, I'm done. I only go back because my game crashes too many times. But now with alternate endings, you can do different things. You can have Seth beat Roman Reigns and find out what's going to happen there when he wins the championship. And I'm curious about all of the different matches that they're going to include and what it will look like. It's going to make me want to play through a normal playthrough of showcase and then be able to turn around and be like, I'm going to do alternate ending version. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you that much right now. I reached out to This Gen Gaming because he had hands-on with the game itself for early access. So I wanted to get his thoughts on everything with showcase. So here's what he had to say. I felt like the showcase is back to where it needs to be. It feels like a return back to 2K15 and 16 roots. I like the additional detail of having commentary for alternative endings. In 2K24, this was absent. It's a small but fun detail. So that is interesting because you're going to get alternate endings and you're going to get alternate commentary to go with it. That is awesome. I think that heightens the experience, and I think it just keeps you engaged. He continues to say, I would like to see what if matches be expanded to be branching. So in the Seth Roman Rumble 22 match, it would have been cool if it had let me go down the what if option of Roman winning, but also allow the original DQ scenario to take place with the post-match chair attack as a cutscene. But overall, Showcase is going to be a big positive this year after years of it being uninteresting and dull. So I'm excited to hear that because, as I've said, and you're probably with me too, when it came up to last year, I always felt like I'm done with Showcase. I don't know how many times you can reiterate the same old thing. I'm glad that it's getting a lot of polish and a lot of nuances to keep players wanting to come back and play it again. All right, let's talk about this big one that I am really keen on getting my hands on with. Third-person cameras. We've seen this all over the place now. You can do third-person camera switching for all of the entrances, for your superstars, your tag teams, whatever you gotta do. I wanna see factions doing this, the full camera swings, but you can change all the way around. You can go around the entire arena. You can just be in the rafters and just looking down at The Rock for his whole entrance. This changes a lot for me personally because I enjoy entrances. I love the polish and just recreating WWE in my game. I like the real authentic thing as best I can with these games, but I like the entrances. I usually leave them on, but after a while, I'm like, okay, I don't need to see Dom's entrance once again. This adds a new wrinkle. It makes it fun for capturing different angles, highlight reels, putting these things together. It makes it way more fun and engaging. But the other thing that is huge is the fact that you can do the third-person camera view in the matches. This changes a lot with the matches themselves, the flow of a match, how you engage with it, how you play it, because it seems like if you're going to be messing around with the stick and you're going to just change it from a top down to an angle to a turnbuckle, you have full freedom and control of what you want to do. Probably going to mess you up a little bit as you're trying to play the game at first and you're just going off all over the place. But getting different camera angles, it changes it up. Last year when we got the ramp camera view, amazing addition, and it's back again. So now you have 3 different camera options essentially, from the standard to the ramp, and then the third person / freedom mode. Then you can actually go around and see it any which way you want. I love this for things that we haven't seen yet, like Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber. I want to see what that looks like. even down to the Bloodline rules match. We haven't seen that yet, but you're going to get run-ins and you're going to get people coming into the match. I want to see all those dynamics in there. And also, there's a lot of superstars that were shown off on the roster. Not everybody, obviously, in the reveal, in the initial reveal, but you have seen all like main players: Seth, Roman, Rock, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Jacob Fatu. Tons and tons of superstars were made available. Now, another creator I reached out to was Deontay, and he's fantastic. He's hilarious. Go check him out. But I asked him what his favorite thing was, and I got exactly what I thought I was going to get from him. Deontay says, my favorite thing was absolutely Sol Ruka and her entire move set. It's what I expected from him. He also says the custom camera angles during entrances make entrances feel worth watching again. Great addition to the game. See? You got a little Sol Ruka in there, and then he's got the camera angles, and he's all very tickled by it. So thank you very much, Deontay. I think it's great that we're going to have not only more NXT stars in there, like a Sol Ruka that you love so very much, but we also get all those camera angles to be able to play with. I'm glad that it is going to make creators happy when they're putting content together, but just players in general. It's just stuff to mess around with. You can do an AI match, just computer versus computer, and just mess with the cameras. That's going to be fun. Now, the big thing that came out of the gameplay reveals was going to be backstage and the backstage arenas. There are several different backstage areas that you can mess with, from NXT, archives, outside of the parking lot. There's a lot of freedom there. There's a lot of running around too, which is nice. So you feel like you got a little bit more of a open world feel. Makes me feel like this is what the island might kind of feel like, with a lot of running around and going from spot to spot, but there's a lot of stuff to interact with. One of the cool areas was going to be the archives, where there's a lot of just nods and like little Easter eggs in there. So I think that's really cool. So I reached out to Smack Talks and I asked him what he thought about 2K25 and his time playing with the game, and he spoke about backstage areas. Backtalk says the archives feel like a throwback to Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain, being able to quickly climb areas and destroy things. So I love the arcade style of it. So that makes me happy, because I found that backstage areas are in large part boring, just having one basic area to work with, and once you've gone through and you've thrown a guy on a car, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm over it. It's nice to see, with all of the gameplay that's out there, that there is so much variety, and being able to take somebody from the top in the archives area and throw them off, or there's a ring that's just there that you can go into and have kind of a standard match in. The variety for backstage, I think, will make players come back. Also being able to do it with multi-man matches, which is something that they desperately needed. So it is, I like how Smack Talks is talking about how it's a little bit of a blend of, hey, here's a nod to what we've done in the past, or what WWE has done in the past. We're going to be able to do that in this game too. Now, one other thing that excites Matt over here, by the way, if you guys enjoy the content over here, if you help me out, we're trying to get to 200,000 subscribers, and when I look at the YouTube stats, I can see it's like 50% of people or whatever have not hit the subscribe button, but you end up watching and you enjoy a video or two. So if you can, hit that little button right there. It goes a long way. It's free. You just do that, and then we're all very happy. But the other thing that excites me and tickles me a little bit in the fun zone is going to be the LED barricades. They're going to get damaged. Number one, I like that the barricades are full LED now. Yay. Custom community creations, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and what we're going to be able to create throughout all of it. But there's going to be able to have damage, and it's going to be going on and on and on, so you're going to see more barricade damage throughout. I think that's fantastic, breaking it down. Then I haven't seen anybody though break the barricade. I've seen damage done to barricade. That's cool. The other thing you can do is ring post damage, and I believe this was from This Gen Gaming, but there's 1,000 YouTube videos out right now, so I can't keep it all straight. But you're able to go and actually throw your opponent into the ring post, and it's going to cause more damage to it. So can you imagine? You get your Bloodline rules match. You got all the people in there. You got everybody interfering. You got weapons galore, and you're just smashing people. By the end of the match, it's going to be a lot of destruction, which is what you want to see. You want to be able to interact more with different areas. So I think LED barricades, it's a big standout for me. The other thing with the barricades is going to be doing those moves off the barricades. So we know that we have seen in the reveals and all the footage that you can do moves and do like a springboard and jump off and do a splash from the barricade on the outside. You can teeter as you walk down the barricade, which is really fun. And you have that freedom there too to do different moves. What you can have as well is that different superstars, like a Sol Ruka from Deontay, his favorite. Sol Ruka has different moves that you can do going from the barricade and jumping onto the opponent. People like Deontay are very happy. Now, special referee. This one's interesting. So I had a conversation with This Gen Gaming about special guest referee matches, and I've seen a ton of footage where we've seen like, hey, there's tag team matches now, there's multi-man matches. That has been confirmed. So you can do 1v1 special ref matches like we had last year. You can do tag team, 3-way, 4-way. There is unconfirmed reports, I'll say, because I haven't heard it from 2K directly, but all the rumblings from the reveals is that you're going to be able to do even more matches with special ref, like Hell in a Cell and up to 6-man matches for special ref. That excites me because I like special guest referee matches. I just feel like when it was 1v1, it ain't enough. So I'm very excited to be able to play in multi-man matches with the special ref. Next year, we're fast forwarding to next year. Next year, I want to be able to have it back in, what was it, SmackDown 2, I think, where I could have 2 referees. I had Shane and I had Vince. He should not be named, but I had 2 referees and I could have them in the match. That's the ultimate. But I love that I could do potentially 6-man match with a special ref. But the interesting piece with special referee, I asked This Gen Gaming that the special guest referee matches are no longer a designated match type. In the menu for 2K24, you would select special guest referee match, and from there, have a one-on-one. He explained it to me that you are going to pick a 1v1 standard match, and then there's a button option to select to add a special guest referee. Same with tag team matches, 3-way, 4-way, you will be able to add the referee into that match, which to me makes so much more sense, and that's way more fluid versus having to bounce in and out and select if I wanted a specific match type. You're also getting very convoluted in the menus too, because if you were to have it the other way, you would pick special ref matches and then you'd have all the available match types in there. So I love that they thought about this and they're like, hey, if you want a fatal 4-way, just pick a fatal 4-way match, press the button, and you're gonna then pop up with a special referee option. There's new weapons as well that are going around. There's trash can lids. The prime bottle itself can be utilized as a weapon in a match. And you can also assign weapons, specialty weapons for superstars. If I want to give Seth Rollins a kendo stick as his default weapon of choice, you can do that. It's like Doink the Clown with the prosthetic, or Jimmy Hart with the megaphone, Triple H with the sledgehammer. That's the thing they pull out. You can now assign superstars to pick a specific weapon all the time. So Logan Paul, you can't pull a prime bottle from under the ring, can you? It's on the side, but you know what I mean. Maybe you can pull out a little bottle of prime. And one thing that's going around that I haven't got confirmation on, it looks like it's gone or it's been tweaked and fixed. Fighting stances. It seems like fighting stances has been corrected, because every time I've seen footage and talked to creator, it doesn't seem like the fighting stances are there doing the arcade, doing the boxing shuffle anymore. It looks like the match starts and it's just, they don't do that anymore. So if that is the case, that was one of the big things that bothered a lot of players, was having this shuck and jive the whole time, like it's a boxing game or Mortal Kombat, and it's not. And I think it's starting to go away, or they've removed it or tweaked it, so it doesn't really happen, because you have elements like chain wrestling that have been added back into the game, so you get a better match flow. But there's a lot to like, but we'll see as more stuff comes out, what's good and what's maybe not so good. But I want to thank all the creators that submitted stuff, statements we could talk about here on the show. Loved your feedback. Go check them out. All of them are linked in the description, so go check out their channel, subscribe to them, and if you want, check out this video right here talking more 2K25 news and all the breakdowns you need. Have a great day. See ya.